Good morning, guys. I am Patty Elhoff, the author of Upcycle with Decoupage, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Scooby Books, S-K-O-O-B-E. And I got an adorable email from a little girl who's 12 years old, and she said that she loves my videos, but she was wondering if I could do something that was more of a beginner's nature. She decoupages with her grandmother, and she would like to give her something that she made herself. So today I'm going to make this decoupaged frame, and this will be a beginner's video to show you how simple we're going to make it. We're going to just need these supplies that you need right here, and the scissors. So make sure that you have a top coat, and that can be a high gloss or a matte finish or satin. Decoupage glue. Have a few decoupage brushes, sponge brushes on hand. We always use our nail files, and when you buy these, you can get them in any drugstore. Make sure you get the ones that say they're for acrylic nails, because they're very, very sturdy and just what we need. This frame I got in the craft store. I think it was $1. It doesn't have any glass on it, but that's okay. I'm just going to show you how we're going to do this today. And this is just wrapping paper. I thought it was very pretty. You may also want to keep a wet cloth rag, a damp rag around, so that you can wipe your fingers. The decoupage glue gets very sticky. So I took the back out of this. You just turn this over, and these little tabs move easily. You pull this out and put it aside. There's also a little stand here. So I'm just going to put that aside so I don't lose it. And the first thing you'll want to do after that is lay your paper, your wrapping paper, face down. We're going to take the picture frame and place it on the wrapping paper where you have at least a couple of inches on the top, on the bottom, and on the sides, because we're going to be folding this over. And let's cut this much wrapping paper out. With the wrapping paper still down, you want to take your frame, and we're going to do the front part. This is the back, so we won't worry about this right now. We're going to put decoupage glue on the front, but make sure your pattern is going in the right direction. If you want to use the frame this way, make sure that if you've got script or flowers or butterflies, they're all going in the right direction. It may not matter, but I'd hate to see you start this and then realize, oh, I put it the wrong way. So we'll take some decoupage glue and put it all over the front of our frame. Then we'll take the frame, place it down, face down, onto the wrapping paper, making sure that we have excess around all the sides. So we've got some extra up here, extra here, and extra here. Let's press that down. Now, always with decoupage, you want to make sure these edges are pressed down. You can press out any wrinkles. You're moving the glue out to the sides in case you have any excess glue. Now we're going to turn it back over. And before we apply the glue, you can look at this just like you're wrapping a present. You're not going to need a bunch of this in the corners, so if you fold it over, you can see that we can cut away this corner right up to the frame. We'll do that same thing on this side. Now we're going to take some decoupage glue and apply it right here. And you may want to cut out a little spot here if you're going to be hanging this. And make sure that you get the edge of the frame also, this top edge here. So we'll put some decoupage glue here and up here. We press everything down. It's always a good idea to start in the middle and press out. So if you've got any glue, extra glue in there, or any wrinkles, you can just continue to push it out to the nearest exit, the nearest side. So we'll do the same thing on this side. And we'll do that on the bottom, same process. Add some decoupage glue. Pull your paper over and from the center out, press down. Here, you want to cut that off. And if you went a little too short over here, you don't have to worry, because our next step is we're going to pull this side up. So you can see we're going to have a little excess down here. Same with up here. I'm going to have a little bit of excess, just a little, so I'm going to cut that away. And we're now going to add decoupage glue to the sides. And again, pull this over. Oops. Then we will go back to the last side. Add our decoupage glue. Fold it up, and from the center, press down. And so far, here's the front of our frame. And on the back, you can see you've got a little bit of excess back here. For now, these pieces that are part of the frame, like these pieces that are hanging over where there's no frame, don't worry about those right now. But let's glue down any loose edges on the back. A little excess there. And it looks a little bit messy, but what I want you to do is leave this dry. It feels a little bit tacky. I'm going to put this in a very small room with the door closed and the heat on, and it's going to dry within about 15 or 20 minutes, and then once it's dry, we'll move on to the next step. Now that everything is dry, we want to get this centerpiece out, and you can just carefully take your scissor and go somewhere in the middle. Just poke it, and it's easy to see it this way. Cut up to the edge and cut out these rectangle shapes. And all we're going to do with this excess is, and start on the back so that you can get a better feel for working with the nail file. Once you have the back done, you see these nice clean edges. We're going to do the same thing in the front. And again, make sure you go in one direction with the file. So here's your picture frame. So what we're going to do is take one more coat of decoupage glue and put it over the whole piece, back and front. Just make sure you've got everything filed away and pulled away. And we're going to, again, put this in a dry room, let it dry. After this coat dries, I'll come back and show you the very next step, and we're almost done. You don't have to do this because this is the back and no one will see it more than likely. But if you want, you can tidy this up just a little bit more by cutting out on that same wrapping paper one of the images. And you can take your decoupage glue and say right here where there's a seam, if you don't want that to be seen, you can put the decoupage glue over it, add the butterfly or whatever image you're working with, add it right to that spot, fold the edges down, and then you will not see a seam, you'll just see an additional image. So you would want to do that before you put on this second coat of decoupage glue. So this took about 15 or 20 minutes to dry, and I'm going to add the top coat. I have this piece of aluminum foil down because after I put this top coat on, I'm not going to want to touch this and move it. I'll start with this back part here and add my top coat, and we're going to put it everywhere that we put the paper and decoupage glue. And I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I don't even need to touch it. I'll just pick up this whole piece of aluminum foil and set it down, and then I will come back and show you the very last step. And here's our completed frame. All we need to do is put a picture in there, but you just put this piece back together. That's the back, and I'm going to hang this up, and there is our completed frame. So thanks a lot for subscribing, and please feel free to ask me any questions that you'd like. I'm here to help. And I will be back next week with another video. And if anyone has any requests, please let me know. I'll see what I can do to accommodate you. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, and I hope your grandmother likes your frame. Let me know if you have any problems. Bye-bye.